out that we have some microphones that are set up to ask questions. Ariel is over there to help anyone who wants to ask a question, and over here is Nancy. Both of them can speak French, so if you feel uncomfortable speaking in English, you can ask your questions in French. They will translate it for us up here.
Thank you.
And I want to point out that Ariel and Nancy are both volunteers. There are all these light blue shirts that you see running around at the Comic-Con are volunteers, and we couldn't do it without them. They are amazing. Thank you. Now, while people are getting ready, I got a little bit of a softball question for you, because you started performing fairly young. You were on Broadway at age 13.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And then I read that you graduated high school with honors at 14.
Yeah.
You got your first degree, which was in business, which was summa cum laude at 17.
Yes, I did.
And you're currently working on a Bachelor of Science?
I'm currently working on a master's.
Master's?
Yeah.
Oh,
I've switched my major a few times. It's literature now, actually.
It's literature now?
Yeah, because I'd never done anything educationally creative, and I thought, well, I have my bachelor's in business, and I know how to run my career like a business and do all of that, but why not, if I'm going to be telling stories for the rest of my life, why not know how stories have been told and sort of go that route with it?
Brilliant. You're a singer, you're a songwriter, you're a dancer, you're a quadruple threat.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Am I?
Well, they used to call it a triple threat.
Yes.
You're also actor, scientist. All right. So the lineups have started over there. We're gonna start on this side. If you could just say your name and ask your question.
Hi, my name is Mara. Really huge book fan here. My question is, through all the Mortal Instrument universe, which is your favorite books and which is your favorite character other than Clary?
Okay. Well, admittedly, I have only read the Mortal Instruments books.
Okay.
I didn't let myself read the Infernal Devices or the Clockwork series or any of that because I only wanted Clary's world in my head. But lately I've been missing the Shadow World, and I always miss the Shadow World, but I've had a lot of folks recommend the other books, so I will be reading those. Of the Mortal Instruments, I would say 3 or 6. City of Glass or City of Fallen Angels are my favorites.
They're also my favorite.
Yeah, and my favorite character is actually Jonathan Morgenstern, or Sebastian, Jonathan, however you want to say it. Because I've never had a character who I hated more in a book. I hated him. He was so vile and so unredeemably evil. And then, I'm not going to spoil anything if you haven't read the books or seen the show, but then something happens at the end of his arc, and I cried for him, and I loved him, and I've never had that happen reading a book before, and it blew my mind. And then also, Will Tudor and Luke Baines, who are 2 of my favorite people on this planet, played him. And I was a kid in a candy store, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mara. Just one little note. Please remember questions begin with W words, but introduce yourself as well. Go ahead, Spider-Man.
Hi, my name is Luis.
Hi.
I met you in Arrow, and I'm a big fan of yours. And I just wanted to ask you, when you got called to be Mia Queen in what I consider one of the best seasons of the Steve show,
Yes.
and be part of the greatest event in it, it was Crisis on Infinite Earth. How did you feel? How did you manage to enter that kind of universe that has been around for 8 years for now? So how do you feel? How was to work with Stephen and Grant and all those amazing guys? How did you feel being one of the greatest characters in that season?
First of all, thank you so much. Second of all, grateful. Truly, when I first auditioned, I didn't know I was auditioning to play Oliver and Felicity's daughter. The character breakdown was for a rookie cop with a dark past, which is not Mia at all. And I got a call from the showrunner who, after I signed my contract, after I was cast, and she said to me, "Hey, we're so happy to have you. Everything you know is a lie. You're Oliver and Felicity's kid, by the way. We don't know anything else, but we'll tell you later." And I'm going, because I knew how important Felicity is to the fandom, and I knew how much work Steven and Emily had put in, and these great characters that they'd built over what was then 6 years. And I'm going, I have to somehow come in here and be the personification of Felicity. How? And I mean, I was lucky because the writers gave me so much to do, and they created such an amazing character in Mia. And then I had fun. I went back and I watched all 6 seasons and started pulling mannerisms from Oliver and mannerisms from Felicity, and went, what are my favorite qualities and what are the most messed up qualities of both of these individuals, and how can I mush them together into one person? And then was born Mia Smoke.
You managed it. You had Felicity's face, but you have Oliver's attitude. It was awesome. You portrayed it as the best thing you could have ever done. I'm a big fan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, I spent a lot of time trying to learn how to walk like Steven, and I think I did it in the end.
Over here.
Hi, my name is Sydney, and I was wondering what your favorite scene of Shadowhunters that you did.
These are tough questions, you guys. Something that I say was always one of my favorite moments to film was the end of season 2, when we did the big finale at Lakeland where we kill Valentine and all of that. And it was one of those moments that was such a testament to our crew, because it was a really emotional scene. It was the middle of the night, but it was also all day, and there were so much technical things we had to do. But they set it up for myself and for Dom, who played Jace, and Alan, who played Valentine, that we were just able to play. And they just let us go and lock in and kind of have that little moment of magic that you get sometimes on a set. And the same thing happened in our series finale. As sad as it was to have to wrap up the series in the way that we did, the very last scene we got to film was Clary and Jace dancing at the Malik wedding. And it's some dialogue that's pulled directly from the books, and it's the one time where Jace and Clary have a moment to actually profess their love for each other in a way. And being surrounded by, you know, the whole crew and the whole cast, and even folks that weren't filming had come there that day, and having this quiet moment in the middle of what had become our home with the people that we loved, with these words from the book, it was magic, and it was the perfect way to sort of wrap up the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Sydney.
Hi again, Michael.
Hi.
When I first met you at the booth, I was like nervous and didn't know what to say, but I like man up anyways. Secondly, love Shadowhunters and the Arrowverse. I actually really enjoyed your music, and I really like your song Amber. I want to know like behind the story of the song Amber.
Ember was actually the first song that I ever wrote. And when my writing, it was coming out of a time, I had just finished up the first season of Shadowhunters, and it was coming out of a time where it was, you know, kind of based on some life stuff, but also it had this idea that was kind of inspired by Clary in a way, which is why I was so happy that it ended up back in the show, because it's this idea that an ember is this little piece of a fire that never dies, and it's like that little bit of hope that always exists, and it can't really be extinguished, but it can reignite in an instant. And that became what the song was about in a very small way, but you know, it ended up in the show that it was kind of inspired by in the end, and it was a lovely surprise.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.